Hi everyone, and welcome to our 11th Diamond Club Australia webinar for 2016. We have had a wonderful start. We say this at the beginning of every webinar, don't we? But hasn't it been a real great month so far, Logan?
Yes, it's been amazing. You guys are doing great. Keep up the hard work. You're doing amazing.
And we can really see, I guess, the results coming through fast and thick. And it's really exciting to even see some of you that are coming in the office and sharing your stories and running around, but most importantly, really connecting with people that haven't, I guess, been exposed to doTERRA before. So today's agenda, we actually have a bit on. It's a little bit different. So what we're going to cover is stuff that's more in line with leadership development, information that may help your hosts or people that you're working with. We're going to check in and see how are you going, and we're going to have a look at the current standings as they are right now. So those people that are enrolling and really, I guess, are situating their position within the, I guess, the table there. And we've also got an amazing guest speaker, Joanna Rustling, who was one of our winners last year.
That's right. We're very happy to hear from her and the advice that she's going to give to us this week.
Excellent. So when it comes to leadership development, what we say is because there's so many rank advancements, a lot of it does help you or assist you slip into that leadership development mode. So even though you may previously been sharing, or you still are sharing, I mean, that's what doTERRA is about. It's about the product, it's about purchasing the product, but really sharing what is important to not only yourself but to others. And where that helps other people in your team develop is by empowering them to kind of grow and develop as well. So Diamond Club can help others become self-sufficient. The way that it can do that is really by the relationship building, and when you are going to an area or a community where you already have a host, you're helping them and motivate them and enable them to hold classes with, I guess, a little bit more confidence than maybe they would have had to previously done by themselves. It also makes leadership a top priority, and that comes naturally through rank advancements, but it also means it's because you're setting an example. So the way that you conduct yourself at classes and the way that you are moving around really does allow others to see how you can, I guess, utilize your strengths, but also promote that in other communities. The more leadership you create, the more successful you'll be. You know, we say that in terms of when you are rank advancing. So say, for example, you're aiming to be at a silver level and you have those three elite legs under you. The more, I guess, that you work with them and then they become leaders, the more successful you will be, because you'll not only be able to see that process of duplication or replication, but you'll also see the impact that what you've trained has helped them train, and they can then train others, and then it can be filtered through and really passed along the line. And leadership is communicating to people their worth and potential. So when others, like I said, have or require a little bit of confidence, it's about reaffirming that they have everything that they need within them, and they do have the ability to train or share in whatever way they feel is most natural to them. Everyone has a different flair. Everyone has a different way of presenting and really getting their message across, or getting the doTERRA message across. Everyone has different ways of holding classes and also travelling. So it's about identifying what works for you and then supporting that not only for yourself, but supporting your team members in doing that as well. Even though it's maybe different to you, it might be the same as you, it's generally a right way. It's generally always right. It's just, you know, maybe some of it means a little, you know, more work here or there. It doesn't matter as long as you have the end result, and that's what matters. And that's where we start thinking long term. These are the beginnings of a long-term relationship. These are the beginnings of a long-term team. These are the beginnings of a community that is growing and developing and strengthening. And, you know, 6 months from now, where do you see these people that are enrolling? Where do you see your leaders and your hosts? Do you see them in the same communities themselves, or in 12 months' time are they going to be undertaking Diamond Club as well? And then how will you be able to support them next year? Because you're going through it all now and you're setting the example, you're setting the standard, you're setting the tone, and whatever you're setting now is basically going to be duplicated later on for your team members and those that can see what you're doing. So the great work that is happening is going to continue happening because it is, I guess, being shared as such. So we talk about hosts.
Exactly. A lot of Diamond Club is what Beck went over, is becoming leaders and developing leadership skills yourself and helping those that are hosting your events become leaders as well. It's a continuous cycle of building leaders and leadership within doTERRA so that we can make each other and all of us better at the same time. So you need to help your hosts see your why and why you're doing Diamond Club and how it's also going to be helping them. It'll help them also create their own why as to why they're doing this. They maybe already have one or they're trying to find one themselves, but as you develop as the leader and help them host these events, they will be creating their own why and be able to develop that in consecutive events in the future. So in doing this, you're going to be training them. Maybe you're having events with newer wellness advocates that aren't familiar with presenting or having an event or being a host. So you're going to be training them. Maybe the first time you'll have to do the event by yourself, but they're going to be learning from you. You're going to be training them as you go. That way, the next time you go back to that area for an event, they'll be able to do most of the hosting for that event and handle it themselves. Or little by little, they'll be able to develop those skills to do that in the future. So training is very important as a leader so that they can develop in their skills for the future. So you want to get your host to be setting up the events. If they're not presenting them already themselves, they obviously need to be setting those events up and inviting others from those areas for you. A lot of this work doesn't have to come from you as a Diamond Club participant. It's developing those leadership skills to hand off or handball the requirements or necessities of the events to those in the area that you're visiting so that they can become a strong area or a strong leg for you in the future. And then you're going to want those hosts in those areas to also do the follow-up for you as a Diamond Club participant. You're obviously going to be doing your events almost every day, and it's going to be tough for you to follow up with everyone that went to those events. So your follow-up needs to be with the hosts of those areas, and their follow-up needs to be with the people that attended those meetings in order to work better and more intelligently and get the most out of Diamond Club and your events and your traveling as a participant. And all of this is going to help them be built into a leader so that they can be proactively getting events and inviting people to have future events and building a team in that area for the future. So this is what you want to do with your hosts. Help them find that why. You're going to be training them to become leaders so that they can be proactive in getting their own area up and running, so that all you have to do is really follow up with them and little by little train them and tweak the little things that need to be improved each time.
Yeah, and I think that that's really important, and what that comes down to as well is when, you know, we always encourage everyone to do their follow-ups. We've encouraged you in a lot of the other webinars to do your follow-ups as well. Imagine going back to that area instead of having 15, 20, 30 follow-ups from the one area. You are following up with your host. You're following up with one or two people that are not only able to reach out to those probably a lot easier because they're in the same community or in the same location, but those that have existing relationships with them as well. So it's about sharing that responsibility with those hosts, and that's why I guess we've made it important for you to have leaders or wellness advocates that are currently in the area so that you can start working together as a team as well. So when we ask, how are you going? How are you going? You know?
Exactly. This is kind of where you should be on track to finish out the month with the required minimum of 18 enrollments. You should be somewhere around 10 or 12. That's technically the on-track mark for this time in the month of February. Remember, there's only 29 days in this month, so it's a little bit shorter, so you have a little bit less time to get those done. But you do still have half of the month remaining, and we know after your experience that you've gained, you'll be able to readjust your goals and plans to be able to have the events and get the necessary enrollments to continue on in Diamond Club. So that's one thing that you want to do. It doesn't matter really where you're at right now, but you can recalibrate and make those goals and to get those 18 enrollments and have the events necessary. So keep up the great work, and we want to see what happens to you guys in the future. We want to see what you guys can do with the last couple of weeks left in the month of February. We know we have conventions, so that might take some time out of your planned schedule. So remember that. People might not be around. They might be at convention, or you might be at convention, so you're not going to have that time at the end of the month. So you need to readjust your goals and everything and plan on that. I know you guys probably already have, but just in case.
Yeah, and even for those of you that are attending, they may be considered local or out-of-area events to a certain degree. If you're running events or you've met with a group or a team there as well, really encourage you to, I guess, utilise that. You're all up there, we're all up there on the Gold Coast. Is there an opportunity for a half-hour or 45-minute training session or an event that you can invite people to? There may be a lot of people in the area walking around, you know, that aren't necessarily a convention that we could kind of invite along to another event, if you know what I'm saying. Just really encouraging those events happening even while we're up there, if that's something that works for you. So at the moment we have our standings listed, and these are the names of the people that have over 15 enrollments.
Right, so these are the people that are currently they're definitely on track, and they're doing what needs to be done in order to reach the 18 enrollments by the end of the month. They're a little ahead of track, so we wanted to kind of congratulate them and let them know that they're doing great and they're being great examples, and to keep up the good work.
So for those of you that don't have visual, we'll just run through their names. So that's Zane Appleby, Kirsten Thrush, Penny Hardy, Erin Blott, Jenny Park, Tanya Zayeta, Renee and Byron Twilley, Sam Bunker, John Cross, Maggie Humphreys, Marita Albert, Gavin Nerney, Mish Pope, Chantal Roloff, and Nick Fairbairn. Well done, guys.
Congratulations.
And then we've got our other list of people, which is our top 5.
That's right, and that's Zane Appleby, that's Penny Hardy, John Croft, Kirsten Thrush, and Tanya Zaida. So congratulations, guys. You are doing really, really well.
Well done, guys. Top 5. You're in it. Alrighty. So now what we'll do is we'll introduce you to our special guest speaker, Joanna Rustling. Joanna is one of our diamonds here in Australia, and she finished 4th in Diamond Club 2015. So she's got a lot of information in terms of what works and how to succeed. So Joanna, what we will do right now is we'll just get you online. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello?
Oh, hello, are you there still? Good, are you still there? We just had a little bit of a muffle. It came, you spoke about 5 times. Can you say hello again? Are you there, Joanna? Are you there, Joanna? Pardon?
Hello, Beck.
Oh, hi, are you there?
No, I'm just going to go off the phone and go on the computer.
All right, I can hear you now.
Hi, Beck.
Hi, how you going?
I'm great, thank you.
Good, good. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the Diamond Club call.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think, Logan, you know, we've touched base in terms of, you know, Diamond Club last year. You finished 4th, and you've got a few helpful hints for everybody.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, so for me it was quite an amazing whirlwind trip. I did some out-of-state travel, and fortunately once I understood planning and communicating effectively with my team about what it was about, that's when things really took off. So yeah, just a lot of communication with your team so they understand how it can help them to have a Diamond Club member attend their events, not take over the event at all, just to be there to support them, and that it's a win-win around them. Just to they're getting that support, it's focused, and and helps them to benefit their new members with more freebies.
Yeah, excellent. It is really important to communicate and let everybody know what that is on on that level. So, what else, I guess, what else helped in terms of planning?
So once I realised that travelling, especially with I have a family, I have an amazing husband and three children to consider. So looking at your out of area events on the end of the month, so that you can maximise your time and have at least 2 events at the end of the month away, and then you can be already getting 2 events for the beginning of the following month. So it just takes off that pressure to know that your away events are done and you can be at home, so your team knows when you're home, and it just builds momentum. People start to get a bit excited, they start to get the focus as well, and actually start booking events happening. And yeah, I suppose if anything, if I could rewind the clock, it would just be to educate the team on what Diamond Club's more about, and so that they know, to get in early, so it's not such a huge, massive snowball effect at the end of May, which was just crazy, but exciting as well.
Yeah, that's where the planning comes into it, isn't it? Just even if you spend January planning, like you can still do that at the beginning of every month, and as long as you've got those family and friends and other team members on board, they are going to be able to consider, what you're doing a little bit more, and even help. I think that anybody would be able to help in that situation if they understand, what's happening as well.
Yeah, so I found that so maybe for some teams, they already know what it's all about this time around for 2016, which is amazing. Other things I found, people who are aware of it and weren't in a place that they could do it this year, they are already aware. So if they happen to be away for business or work or other things, or they're going to Gold Coast Convention, they're catching up with friends or family, and they're setting things up now because they want to do Diamond Club next year. And that's just through educating and teaching people what, just to be mindful of what the requirements are. So as you're travelling to your out of area, for those people doing Diamond Club this year, as you're travelling and you're working with these new people that, might be potential leaders, you could be helping to set them up as well, and having them to see some foresight for them doing Diamond Club next year. So you're going to have this growth effect with your team members, and they can see the benefits of Diamond Club because they're already doing workshops and events for you now, and you just so next year you don't have to, it's like a snowball effect where you'll have people in your team wanting to participate, and it just grows. So that's pretty exciting. Planning, communication. Sorry, Beck, what was that?
No, sorry, it's all good. You keep going. It was good. I was just saying that I agree with what you were saying there.
And just enjoy the ride. You're going to have days where you get, no shows, and other days where it just goes amazing, and just trust the process and know that if you plan and you show up, it's like the universe, it sort of catches up with you. So just be prepared to not do much else but Diamond Club in May, as it builds a momentum. And to not give up, and if you're frustrated and things aren't going according to plan, reach out and just let people know. It is challenging with the convention, I have to say, but just try and turn it into a positive. Some of us are having events now in the Gold Coast to try and help some of our Diamond Clubbers out as a way to, just to make that trip worthwhile. Like, not just for convention, obviously that's amazing, and Dr. Hill and other guests that are coming, but just to help them to also not, to still have a focus on Diamond Club while all that's happening. Just reach out as much as you can, cross line, if you're going to an area, there can be an energy too if you've got, not just you've got maybe 1 or 2 team members, but if you're, in an area where no one comes, you know, we want to help anyone with doTERRA, so you get a lot more energy and cohesion if, you know, a few people in town know each other, they all, you know, in doTERRA and they love it, and you can help foster great relationships there and healthy relationships, and it creates more of an energy which can further help you if you're going back to that during Diamond Club. So yeah, I suppose sharing love across the board, and yeah, helping your host just to understand what Diamond Club's all about, and that it's a win-win for both of you.
That's right. Thank you so much, Joanna. Those are great points and advice for us.
So what was that, Logan?
Sorry, can you hear me?
I can. I just missed, you cut out for a moment. The Wi-Fi is not fantastic, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, those are great points of advice for everybody. We do thank you for sharing your experience from Diamond Club and how you were able to be successful, and letting us understand what we need to focus on during Diamond Club. That's really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Logan, for having me.
Thank you, Joanna.
All right. That was great to hear from one of our winners last year, Joanna, with some great points of advice, as we mentioned.
There's a lot about even, you know, the traveling, the organizing. So when you are going to a location, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be thinking about, yeah, right now, right, yeah, this is what I'm doing today. It's about thinking in general, yeah, like this could impact, you know, something or another event, or help my team next year who are going to want to be doing Diamond Club, and building that rapport right now as well. And letting people know where you're at, and it's okay to ask for support. So at the end of the day, if you are having, no matter what kind of day you're having, it's okay to, I guess, filter that back through to either your upline or your sponsor or even the host, so they know where you're at. But more importantly, communication. And even if you are, you know, working in different areas with cross-line teams, you know, that's about that relationship building as well, because you've all got a common goal and you've all got the common purpose in terms of, you know, the impact of the oils, and letting other people know, or making them aware of what benefits they have in general. And as Joanna mentioned, at convention, great opportunity. They're putting on events, you know, for their team as well, helping them out, helping out the Diamond Clubbers, and letting them really understand that no matter where they are, or whatever events are going to be in the way, well, not in the way, but you can really make use of every single situation.
That's right. Even as she mentioned, there's going to be people around it at convention that you're going to be able to create events or talk to them and share doTERRA and what you have to offer with them. So here's some resources for everybody. Obviously, my contact information. I'm available for you to email, call. Any questions or concerns, please contact me. That's what I'm here for.
And yeah, just keep February strong. We will definitely be having our webinar next Tuesday as well. So we'll be on board with you again next week. We hope that you found that the leadership information a little bit useful. It throws in a different kind of perspective in terms of Diamond Club as well. So it's that long-term goal and that long-term vision as well. So keeping that at the back of your mind at all times, and knowing that we're here to support you and listen as well. And yeah, we're just amazed. We're not amazed. We're just really, really proud of what's happening this month so far, and not just for Diamond Club, but for doTERRA Australia. You guys are all really impacting the growth of doTERRA Australia right now. Since Diamond Club has begun, we've seen how the Australian market has already started changing and evolving. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you guys so much. You're doing amazing things, and thank you so much.
We'll be in touch again next week. Take care till then. Bye.